Today I'm making a fishbowl, and the reason my head's in here because I know you horrible lot are gonna say, does your bald head fit in it? It does. Imagine if I couldn't get it off. So we're gonna pull this bad boy out again. Dave made this. Anyway, first thing I need to do is clean the bowl. Can you see the mineral deposit marks on the ring? Does it come up on camera, Steph?
Wow, it's quite hard to see, but yeah, you can see them a little bit.
So that's like ingrained in the glass, and usually I can use a razor scraper to get them, but because it's curved, you can't so much. But when it's filled up, it'll be pretty much like you can't really see it. I'm just going to try this scourer pad and just see what I can do. To be fair, that is actually working.
Is it?
Yeah. As far as I can tell, always looks better when it's wet, but oh, that's worked.
Oh, brilliant.
Ideal. Yeah, so these, perfect for glass.
Polishing your bowl.
Yeah. Or I suppose it's going to work on any minerals then in the tank. So I've got these special ones that are actually for aquarium, which are a lot less abrasive, which work really well for algae and that, but for like stubborn stains, this seems to be brilliant. I wouldn't recommend these if you've got an acrylic bowl or acrylic tank. It will just look misty. Even that will scratch it, so glass only.
So shiny.
The final polish. So with any aquarium, I like to start, if it's planted, with a substrate system. And this is even more important in this one than usual because there's no filtration. It's going to be like a self-sustaining bowl. Obviously I'm going to feed it because why not? It's enjoyable, but other than the odd little sprinkle and flake, it's going to just look after itself. So to create our substrate system, I've got two components to start with. We want a gravel or a coarse sand, depending on how you look at it. But yeah, like a smaller gravel, I'll get it out in a sec. Then I've got the Denelay substrate. I've been using this loads in lots of projects and it works so well. I've never used it in a bowl. I'm expecting good things. So the first thing, pour in your gravel. Oh, good job I didn't pour too hard, that would have smashed it. I'm actually going to take out these larger pieces of rock that I've got in there. In fact, I'll use them in a bit as well for decoration. So, you can see the amount there. I'm going for about a 50-50 split of gravel to soil ratio. That would be 1-to-1, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Mix it all in. So there's options here. You can bank it up like you would in an aquarium to create a bit more depth if you want, but I actually want to keep it flat in this and just have it as like everywhere is a viewable angle, if you like. So yeah, I'm going to keep it flat. Obviously I need to lock down all that soil now, so I'm going to cap it with some sand. Yes, we have sand. Ooh. Open bag. There we go, look, nice little capping done. That's everything locked down. That's going to provide a lot of nutrients. If you want to, you can add in some root tabs as well, which I will do. I'll use the API ones. But that's more for like longevity, just to make sure it's got everything, to be honest. But if you can only afford to get some of the substrate stuff, then that's absolutely fine as well. It might just like require later, like a reboost. But maybe not, you know, it depends on what the fish you've got in there, how much they're pooping, how much they're adding to the soil, how much plants you've got. If you've got a lot of plants, it's going to use so many nutrients. So it just depends on, like every single tank is not a set rule at all. Everyone is its own ecosystem with its own needs. It's time for Hardscape to add in. Now, whenever I'm doing an eco bowl, and this isn't anything new, I've done these before, I just really like doing them. So I like to start with a little bit of hardscape. You can go full plants if you want, but I find that having a little sort of eye-catching feature in the middle of the jungle is it just brings out the plants even more, like gives a little bit of contrast with them. So I'm gonna go for the MD Classic pebbles. I love them. So we can either go for multiple smaller ones, or we can just go for like a couple of big ones. I'd prefer to go for like 3 or 4 larger style and then one feature piece of wood as well. I'm gonna go with that to start with and work my way around that. Let's put it in. So I'm kind of going for a spiral look as well, because you know what I mean? I'm gonna place the hardscape in a sort of circular fashion so that then I can view it from pretty much any angle and it will look good. We'll get onto lighting at a later date, but I'm assuming you can see that fine, Steph.
Yeah.
We don't need to add a light now?
Presumably not yet. Do you leave an edge around that isn't planted?
Lileopsis brasiliensis, which is like mini chainsaw, people call it, that should work really well in here. Fingers crossed anyway. Even if it doesn't, I'm gonna make it so it looks good if it doesn't carpet. It's quite a nice little piece. Not that bit. Too big. It's quite a nice one. Let's try these pieces. Might not work. This rock's got like quite a little bit of algae on it. I think it looks quite nice. Leave a little gap. So the whole point of this is me showing that you can go get a couple of pieces of hardscape and still make something that looks good. At the moment it doesn't, but when there's all plants around it, it should do.
So what are you looking for now?
Just something to creep through the rocks.
Huh.
I think that'll work, and then this piece can as well.
Ooh.
Now the aquascaper in me, if there is such a term, wants to fiddle with this a little bit now, but I'm not going to, because I'm going to show you that it's still going to look good once it's all planted and sort of settled and started growing. So yeah, I'm just going to leave it, you know, a couple of twigs, main piece of wood and 3 rocks. Obviously we can add more now, but like, you know, as a basis of your initial hardscape, very simple. Nature will make it look good, not me. So that's the next phase.
That is profound.
So profound, but it is true. Right, next up I'm going to glue little glue points where the hardscape is touching the rocks, and that will keep it all locked down because that will float otherwise.
What have you got there?
There's some detail stones that I just want to, it's just like a mixture of different ones. And I'm just going to sprinkle it around the rocks, just give it a bit of extra oomph.
Oomph.
Kind of want it everywhere for this one. I'm covering the whole surface in scatter gravel, which I don't normally do. I just put it at the edge of the hardscape. I do want to give a little bit of a different look, like it's like a section of a stream or something. And if I just keep it in the middle, it's going to look more artificial, which might be the look you want to go for, but I don't want to in this one. Right, now we're really making progress. And those pebbles that I pulled out of the sort of gravel from earlier, I can now use them just to add a little bit more detail around some of these rocks. I want it to look really natural. Just like stuff has fallen in and smashed it. Risky. Love a good risk. Oh, I really like that. Looks awesome. See how I'm not taking any care as well. And some people might be annoyed at how sort of slapdash I am. I kind of do it intentionally. I think like if you look at nature, it's all happened by accident, and sometimes you can create that yourself. And if you do it like continuously, it tends to look really good. Right, we're set now. We can start getting some planting in there. This is the thing that's really going to transform it. And I have got some plants here from Denale Plants. I've got some in vitro here, and I've got some Glossostigma and Lileopsis brasiliensis to give us that grassy look. And these are going to look real natural. I'm going to start off with these plants, then evolve from there. Okay, so I want some higher plants, and in this tank here, we've got some really nice Juncus repens. So I'm gonna pilfer some.
This tank, AKA Dave's tank.
Yeah, there we go, look, great root systems, they've got good height, they give me that sort of real natural looking vibe as well.
You're wrapping the roots there?
Yeah, just so I can make sure they all go into the soil and none of it sort of sticks out the top, because it's not going to be useful to get nutrients then, is it? So now it's all going to go in there, it's all going to spread its own way.
And that's fine for the plant?
Yeah, I've done it. I always tend to do it, and it's always been okay, so I'll just assume it is.
Well, proof is in the pudding.
And the, hello guys, the rainbow dwarf sage is going to save the day again, because it's going to go really well with the other plants we've chosen so far. Different texture again, which is really good in a tank like what we're doing. Oh, there's a lot of mulm there. Look at that though, great roots. So now we've got really good sort of plant density at the sides. We've got the foreground plants as well, which keeps it nice and open, otherwise it can just look like a solid bowl of plants. And now I'm going to go for the fast growers. Dwarf sage is quite fast once it gets going, but it can take a while. But if we put stem plants in, they're going to instantly pull nutrients from the water column. They're going to grow really fast. They're just going to make everything like cycle faster and everything like that. And they look great as well. But as always, when I'm planting stems, I like to fill the tank up first, and then I can place them in at the right height, and they can just look great straight away. I was about to fill this up and realised we're not putting it here.
Oh yeah, we're not putting it there.
Move on its space. Yeah, so the light that I'm going to use for the tank is this really old, kind of rusted and jerry-rigged Chihiros light. They don't even make this one anymore. It's moved on to much better versions. I lost the thing that holds it up. I've taped it in places, but it's going to do a really good job. Seems a shame not to use it because the lighting's so nice on it.
Wow, it really is quite old, isn't it?
Hasn't been used for a
It's
while.
like something out of the Addams Family.
Hey. See how the greens pop really nice with it?
Yeah. Can't wait to see it filled up.
Let's do it. Now the key to this part is very, very steadily. To start with, we do not want to disturb all that substrate underneath. Put my ball valve on.
Beg your pardon?
Really, whoop, too much. There we go. Just take your time with it, let it flow in. Once you get a bit more water in, you speed it right up. Right, there we go, look at that. So the beauty of using like the sand and the capping and the gravel on top means you tend to get a really, really clear fill up like that, which, I mean, even like that, it looks good, doesn't it? But we're gonna go like next level now, add in some nice stems at the back and cover up any glue spots we can see as well with some mosses. So you can see there, look, I've deliberately left all that space at the back for stems to be able to sit in. Let's steal some Ludwigia. I am gonna steal some of the stem plants from George's tank here, because I just noticed at the back, they're looking really good. Again, lots of different textures. We've got Siamensis 53B there, got a really nice Rotala. I think that's a Hatrar, but it's not been in high light, so it's kind of gone a bit mixed. But that is what I want a mixed look. Some really nice Rotala Willichi down here as well. Let's steal some of that out. One thing I won't be adding is the pearlweed, because it's too small and it's going to just overtake. I've made that mistake before. Looks good initially, but uncontrollable in that small space.
And this was an experiment, wasn't it? Because it's been growing on the mesh.
So now,
It's probably
that's proper
very
rooted.
rooted in.
look at that. It's made of carpet.
Yeah.
But if I want to remove it, nice and easy.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do now is just separate them all out. Stems at the bottom, or the bottom of the plant at the bottom. And then I'll use some plant weights to group them together, push them into the sand. There we go, look, because I've got water in there now, I can see the exact height to put it at. And still we can see the stems all nicely. Look at the discus, they're well interested in what's going on. Front colour pot of the Walichi, if I can get that in. Might be a bit tall actually. Yeah, I'll take it out, trim it down a bit. So I think that looks really good so far. I just feel like the middle section above the wood is missing something. I think Limnophilia will work well because it spreads quite widely, but you only need a few stems. And we don't want to go too crazy with the stems because they're just going to take over really, really quickly. And as you can see here in the ecosystem tank, we've got a lot of really nice tall stems. So this is definitely the one to use. And I can choose the height I need it to be as well. That looks about right. Loads of snails, loads of baby snails on it all as well, which is brilliant. That'll be brilliant for the water, for the whole ecosystem. A bit more Rotala to go in here. So when you think there, I haven't actually put that many plants in, just a few sort of trimmings from other tanks. Obviously, if you don't have that, you can just buy, say, 5 pots of different plants and you can do exactly the same thing, and within like a month or two, it'd look this full. As long as you've got that substrate system sorted, it's gonna do well. And you can see the tank is a little bit misted at the moment. And the good thing about a bowl like this is you just whip the water down and fill it back up again with dechlorinated water of the right temperature. And you know, it's the easiest water change. You don't have to spend a lot because there's hardly any hardscape, not that many plants, mine are just more established, but it just looks great straight away, doesn't it? And this is what I was saying, don't worry too much about the hardscape, the plants will make it look amazing. I think it does need a little bit of floating plants though, just to help the start up with it, because they're going to absorb any nutrients in the water column. Also, it's quite a powerful light for something that hasn't really well established yet. If you've got a lower level light, you'd be fine probably just to sort of let it go. And even the most basic of lights would work with this. Little desktop one, anything like that, yeah, it'd be great. Right, let's get some floating plants. Right, it's the next day. I'm showing you this so that if you experience it, you don't need to panic. It's a nano tank. We can just whip the water down and fill it back up again. There we go, look, all filled up, looking so clear. How good does that look? It's like a glass world, because it's round. Anyway, we need to put some floating plants in. So the rainbow tank over here, it's got a ton of awesome red root floaters. Get under here, Steph, get that shot.
I was looking at these the other day.
And they just took off. Like, to start with, they weren't doing too great. And it's something to do with the water chemistry. Some people say low nitrogen or low iron, something like that. Really does allow for it to go proper red. Anyway, I want some, I don't want too many, just a couple, a little handful, just like that, I think. And that's because we've obviously got the little red pops going on at the moment. So I want another little red pop. And I know that they'll stay really nice with this light as well. Just see a little hint of it. Not at the moment, because it's gone to the edge, but yeah, there we go. And then this cool shrimp tank we've got here has got some Amazon frog bit. I'm going to get some of the smaller ones, so we're not too long roots coming down, because that might spoil the look a little bit. Well, they're all pretty long, to be honest. Just a few, because it grows so fast, like, just cover the surface. There's not a huge amount of surface area, so, yeah. Just plonk them in. And they'll continue to grow and split. Just make sure there's no duckweed in them. No, we're good. Look at that, I love the way they grow outwards. And then from the front, look, you can see just some nice little, you know, roots coming down, adds a little bit to it, makes it a bit more mystical. Now, because we're doing an ecosphere, I want it to sort of run itself apart from feeding. So, you know, a little bit of flake every now and again. So we need to think about the inhabitants. Now, there are some small snails already in there that have come off the other plants that, you know, we already planted, but I do want to put some more in as well. Right, so I've got a snail breeding tank here, which is what we want to add in. And if I lift up all of this algae, which I like to keep there because it like captures food, and again, that helps massively with the with all the snails breeding. I just took a load out actually for another tank, so we are short of like big boys and girls. Oh, I've got some nice big ones here. Okay, so let's add in our adult ram's horn snails. These are, they're my absolute favourite. And some people don't like snails because they think they take over, but as long as you don't overfeed the tank, the population just stabilises. I think they're a bit more interesting. You know, you're going to have critters and things in small ecosystems. If you go in a pond and scoop up a load of mud, you'll find an absolute ton of different things in there. And then next, we're going to put some shrimp in. And we've got good news. This tank here that we set up about a month ago, put our first sort of group of shrimp in. We've already got babies, which is great. So you can see there on the filter sponge, those are babies. They're not brand new, but that's a good sign. It means that we've got growing babies. We counted like well over 20 as well. It's just, there's just 2 there at the moment. Got a really nice little collection of shrimp there. We've got males, females, completely different colours. And yes, they will breed some wild type looks, but some of them will be colourful as well. So I'm fine with that. So Neocaridina are very hardy, and the water in this bowl will already be similar to the tanks that they're from as well. So they'll be absolutely fine. Temperatures are all matching. Look at that. It looks so cool, like they're just floating in there. Now for the fish that I'm going to be putting in the fish bowl. Now I know, controversial idea, but I know some places don't even allow it, but I've kept fish in bowls before, and I can promise you, you'll see it in a minute, they don't freak out, they're not bothered by being in there, they breed. I mean, fish don't breed when they're like not happy. They don't even hide, and they're not even spooked. You'll see, I don't believe that fish bowls are bad. I believe the stigma attached to it is because people put goldfish in them, which is obviously bad. Goldfish get huge, but some nano fish in a bowl of that sort of volume, I don't think that's a problem at all. It's up to you, what you decide. So this tank is going to be changed soon. I've set this one up for some absolutely tiny Endler babies. Like, these were literally, they didn't have any colour on them and anything when I put them in there. They were freshborns. I wanted to make sure they grow, and they have now. So they're going to be upgraded into a larger volume. And some of them are nearly adult size anyway for Endlers, but most of them have got a little bit of growing to do. It'll be the perfect spot for them. Okay, they should be quite easy to catch. Whoosh. I don't need all of them. Good little number there. A few more as well. Don't want too many because these themselves are going to breed in the bowl for sure. Because there's even some extra small babies I can see in here as well. That's a nice male there. I've just got a nice male. Definitely want that one in. Definitely want that male in, both of those. There we go, look, good little number there. When you think about the volume of the bowl water, it's just enough, I think. Now, Endlers, although they look like guppies, are not guppies. They stay very, very small. Look at this, look. Look, they're not bothered by me at all. And if they were scared and it was all magnified outside, look, I couldn't do this. They're just chilled. They already look good. Oh, I'm gonna love this bowl.
Now, obviously, there isn't any beneficial bacteria generated at the moment because it's all brand new. So I've got some beneficial bacteria to add in, and then also a fertilizer, just to make sure that the stem plants are getting a load of nutrients straight away because their roots will take a little while to draw it from the substrate system. Also, for the first week, I would advise that you test the water every day. Now, I'm very experienced, so I don't really need to do this, what with the amount of plants in here, and I'm just going to be doing the odd little water change to start with, but once it's settled after that first week, I won't need to do any water changes or anything like that, just water top-ups, and the bowl will just continue to thrive. With such a low bioload in the tank, any dangers of a nitrite or ammonia spike are incredibly low. Combine that with the amount of plants that we've got in here as well, and the risk is negligible. But if you start with less plants, you definitely need to be testing every day. And if you're experiencing any nitrite or ammonia spikes, just whip the water down and whip it back up again with the chlorinated tap water and make sure it's of the right temperature. You should be golden.